Okay, let's look at one variable equation notes again. So we talked about this just a little bit at the beginning of the unit. And we're talking about vertical lines and horizontal lines. So if the variable is x, the line is vertical. If the variable is y, the line is horizontal. So in a coordinate plane, the graph of x equals a is a vertical line. So top to bottom, up and down. And a, it would just be replaced with a number. In a coordinate plane, the graph of y equals b is a horizontal line, which is side to side or across. So let's look at the following graphs. So this is x equals 2. So that means that our point is at 2, and this graph is kind of hard to see, but it's at 2 on the x-axis. So here's x, here's y. It's on the x-axis right here. And that means our line goes up and down, or it's vertical. Okay, we would never draw a line straight through the x-axis. So when a point is on the x-axis, we want the line to be perpendicular to the x-axis. So one of the ways to remember this is using Hoy-Vux. I don't know if you guys have used Hoy-Vux before, but Hoy-Vux is just a different way to remember. So Hoy, and we're going to have to scoot over here. Hoy is horizontal with a 0 slope on the y-axis. So anything that is on the y-axis, which is what we have here, y equals -3. So it's a point on the y-axis, and we want to make our line perpendicular to the y-axis. So it's a horizontal line, because again, here's x, x and y. So this point is on our y-axis, and it's perpendicular to the y-axis. And it has a 0 slope, so a horizontal line has a 0 slope. If we look at Vux, we can go back over here, and we have Vux stands for vertical, undefined, and on the x-axis. So these are just kind of, I don't know, I guess just a different way you can try to remember what each line means. So notice that every point on the line x equals 2 has a 2 in for the x coordinate, and it's the line that is vertical. Every point on the line y equals -3 has -3 for the y coordinate, and that the line is horizontal. So let's look at these two. Graph the following. And we can write down our Hoy, H-O-Y, because it's our y, Hoy. So Hoy means it's going to, I know it's going to be a horizontal line. It's going to have a 0 slope, and it's going to be on the y-axis. The point is going to be on the y-axis. So I'm going to go to y, my y, and it's at -4 right here. Now, like I said before, we would never draw a line along the y-axis. We want it to be perpendicular to the y-axis. So our line is going to go like that. So it matches everything we have. It's a horizontal line. It goes side to side or across. It has a 0 slope, and it's on the y-axis. X equals 5. So we're going to go y, x x. We're going to go over to 5. This graph didn't turn out right. Is there. And again, we would never draw a line on the x-axis. We want our line to be perpendicular to our x-axis. So every single point along this line has a coordinate of 5 for x. And I'm going to show you what that means. So this says, write an equation for the graph of a line that satisfies the information given. The x coordinate of each point is 17. So the key word here was x coordinate and 17. So I know that it's going to be x equals 17. That's my equation. X equals 17. B, the y coordinate for each point is negative 22. We're talking about the y coordinate and negative 22. So y equals negative 22. The x coordinate for each point is 13. X, 13. Again, x equals 13. So where do you think the lines x equals 2, let's highlight that, x equals 2, and y equals negative 3 will intersect? So remember what we said about the ordered pairs that make up each line. So every single coordinate, when x equals 2, the x coordinate, when we write a coordinate, let's make it bigger here. Coordinates go in parentheses. We have an x and we have a y. And if we look back, it says, where do you think the lines x equals 2 and y equals negative 3 will intersect? So x is 2, y is negative 3. That's the coordinate. That's where those two lines will intersect. So let's do a couple more. A, x equals 6, y equals negative 4. What is our coordinate going to be? 6, negative 4. Again, x equals 13, y equals 18. Our coordinate is going to be 13, 18. X equals negative 20. Y equals 14. Our point is negative 20, 14. Okay, so that's where those equations will intersect. All right, so can you write the vertical and horizontal equations of a line that intersects at point negative 3, 1? Well, I know that my coordinate goes x and y. So x equals, I can just look right here. It tells me x equals negative 3 and y equals 1. So number 4 says just write the vertical and horizontal equations that intersect at the point given. So the point given is 44, negative 9, x, y, 44, negative 9. Oh, let's x and y, and that gives us our point. Our next one, x, y, 0, 18, x equals 0, y equals 18. And then the last one, negative 14, negative 5, x and y. X equals -14 and y equals -5. So again, we're just talking about one variable equations, and we're talking about when x equals a number, it's going to be a vertical line with an undefined slope on the x-axis. When y equals a number, it's going to be a horizontal line with a 0 slope on the y-axis. Okay, and you'll have a chance to practice this.